Yes, sir. Geeks all over the globe, God. Welcome to a brand spanking new episode of Cause We Geeks, where we encourage you to stay geek. Listen, man, I'm out here somewhere in the grid. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where I'm at right now. It's your boy Real. Got my cuz Will. Got Big J in the building, and we got BA. Listen, man, if you guys are into geek content, we're here every Tuesday evening, Saturday morning to get our geek on. You guys can join us here, man, for that every Tuesday evening, Saturday morning as we talk about movies and television. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Hit the like button if you could for us, please, to help us build that algorithm up to find more geeks like yourselves. All right, fellas, let's get to it, man. Y'all already know how we do this. There's a special show going on right now. We got one more episode now left of this season, and that's for the old great The Boys. I'm waiting on BJ to correct me. Gen V. Check it out. So listen, if y'all have not seen Gen V yet, right? Any of the episodes, we encourage you to go watch it and come back and let us know what you think. But until then, spoilers.
Spoilers.
Up, y'all heard it, y'all seen it, y'all see it right here on the screen. You've been warned. We are talking Gen V. All right, fellas, let's get to it. Cuz, what's your thoughts, man, on episode 7 as the season seems to be coming to a winding halt, and it seems to be cooking right now, man. What's your thoughts?
Absolutely shook that once it became that there's.
You mean shooketh? Go ahead.
Yeah, shooketh. Yeah, absolutely shooketh. There's no cipher. Eldu was disappointed that Godokin has been the problem and is going to be the problem moving forward. Now that Marie healed him, so he's able to walk around now and control people and have them killing themselves, because his whole thing was to call the weak superheroes or the weak super beings, and so they can only be essentially like God level remaining. Oh, it's gonna. I am glad that they did get all the girls end up getting out of that room safely from him, because I know he could have been a problem with them, but he was nice and let them leave. And it's going to get to the point where Marie's going to have to heal old girl. I can't think of her name right now.
Kate.
But it's going to Kate. Yeah, she's going to have to heal her because it's going to be a all hands on deck type of situation. And you can't go into a fight like that without her on your side, and knowing that she does have the ability to not only bring folks back to life, heal the super beings, because even removed the tremors. Like she's fantastic. Like when it's crazy because the every time that you like, there's always that question, like if you could have a superpower, what would it be? And it's like the eyes, the fly, super strength, and stuff like that. And Marie can't fly, doesn't have super strength or like stuff like that, but her power is like the blood and being able to control it and stuff like that. And for for people to think of that type of power and to give it to her and to show how strong you can be by controlling blood and stuff has been next level. So she might be the most powerful at this point just because of how she's able to control things. But it's still with Godolkin being able to have that mind control is insane. So what I'm thinking is the way that he ended up getting it was probably from like all the explosions and stuff that happened in that lab, that some of it had to have seeped into him as well. And end up, that's what ended up getting him his power if he didn't have it already. But I think that's what ended up happening is just some of it got onto him. Just enough to where he now controls minds, and that's only like expanded over time because he controlled the fake cipher, and then he's been able to control other beings while he's been in the state that he's not even close to. He hadn't even been close to the. He's been like at the house and been able to control people at the school and stuff like that, just to show like how powerful he is, being able to use his powers. Like, dude is bad. Dude is bad. It has me very, very nervous. What you got, picture?
First of all, you need to respect Doug that worked at Blockbuster. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my bad, Dad.
That I was disappointed and I was wrong because I had the theory that was his actual son. I thought maybe he didn't have V in his blood
Yeah.
because he was a natural born suit,
Mm-hmm.
but we see that's not the case.
Yeah.
A lot of people predicting that Cypher was actually just a puppet, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I do think that the dog can be as powerful as he is. It does kind of fit like him being the evil Professor X, with the crazy level of mind control that he asserts. Because once again, people underestimate the fact that he was not just able to control Doug, aka Cypher, but he was also able to, through him, control other people simultaneously. Because remember when Cypher was fighting against Polarity, he was jumping consciousnesses between people while still controlling Cypher. So he's not just like a regular, I can control one person and influence a person, read your mind. He was hopping consciousnesses at random while fighting. And it's like, so that's crazy. And
I think he was controlling multiple people at times too in that fight.
Yeah,
he had like two of them on his side. Yeah.
But the other thing too, you got to keep in mind though is I think so. I think that my vision of the future is everybody thinks it's going to be Kate is going to be the key. I really think that the only one that could really be the true key to stopping him is the mimic, the girl with the tail. Because remember, she can copy, because they brought that up, and I'm like, why would you bring that up? That she could copy anybody's power for 60 seconds. So what if? Because I don't think Kate is strong enough to really deal with Godolkin's power. Because remember, hers is limited. She has to touch you to be able to influence you. Cypher don't need that. He could reach you from any distance, and he's even shown that he could still control a boy when he was miles away.
Yeah.
He was still, like I said, puppeting him from miles away. So I think his power was far. And then she, even before she was injured, she couldn't read his mind. She couldn't invade his mind and to read him. So I'm like, that's why I think that you're gonna need somebody like a old girl to copy his powers so she could match him. Even if it's for a short time, if she could override him long enough to give maybe Kate a chance to touch him and cause him to do something, that may be the only way that they can stop him.
Yeah.
Well, be preoccupied. I was gonna say, it might be one of them cases, bro, where now you said she could touch people. I think there's a reason why they showed at that first episode or maybe second episode when she was in the hospital and she made those nurses fight each other while she was unconscious. I think that's the reason why they showed that.
But she grabbed her arm, didn't she?
Yeah, the nurse touched her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or she grabbed. It's one of them. She either reached out and grabbed her, or the nurse touched her. But her skin was touched. Either way.
Oh, okay. I thought she did you're right. She did lean over. Okay, but yeah, no, you might be right then. Yeah, man. I think a lot of people kind of called it. I think they already figured that he was using him as like we should have it should have been a foreshadowing with the name Cypher. You know what I'm saying? So we all should have caught on to that. But the fact that y'all get this too. He's been controlling Doug for a while. Think about it, because since he was born. Yeah, well, not this is Blockbuster. Blockbuster been around for a while, but remember he been controlling him since Marie was born. Because remember, Cypher was there when Marie was born. So yeah, that's how crazy. That's how long he's been controlling him. Because remember, Godolkin is like 100 years old, so it does make sense. And it's like who was it? Who was trying to tell her like, nah, you might be at least somebody who's even worse or whatever. Who was it? Was it Jordan telling her that?
About what part?
When Marie was like, we're finna go, find Godolkin, maybe he can help us or whatever. And it was like, nah, you might not want to do that. Like, you might be at least somebody a little bit worse than him or whatever. And she started talking about the enemy, my friend or whatever. And come to find out, listen, bro, one thing too, man. Marie started to get on my nerves too, bro. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll tell my wife that, bro. I said, this girl's starting to get on my nerves. She not listening, man. Now all of a sudden, your sister tells you certain things. You would listen to it first. Now all of a sudden, like, well, she doesn't really know her powers like that. She's sitting there telling you, listen, man, I saw a vision of you dying and you in a pool of blood. I'm trying to tell you. Matter of fact, one of the last conversations we had is that I hate you.
Yeah.
So why would all of a sudden at the blue I'm come here telling you what's going to happen? And you're not going to listen. That should have been clicked right there. Like, damn, she did just say she hate me, and all of a sudden now she's trying to save me. Like that should have been like a some should have clicked in. Nah, I got this. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
To the point, like, you know what, just go do what you want to do, man. I'm not gonna worry about it. You got it. Don't worry about it. You seem to have all the answers. And then look what happened. You freed the guy who's worse than the guy who actually was getting controlled. So yeah, man. That's why I said, look, this show is getting good, man. We already know now who the bad guy. My thing is Godolkin even strong enough to control Homelander?
I think he is. I think he couldn't do it, or was worried about doing it in his weakened state. But I think once he got full control of his body, I think he. Did y'all see the trailer yet for episode 8?
No.
Where they showed
episode 8.
Yeah, there's a trailer for it. They showed.
Well, I knew the trailer. I don't think I did see it, but I forgot. But go ahead, explain it.
Well, he was in there, like, basically had him like in that danger room. He had all a bunch of the scoops in the danger room, and he was.
Oh yeah, had a fight off or whatever.
But like I said, I think he's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, Marie was getting on my nerves because she started believing that hype of I'm the strongest, only I can save everybody, and then remember when she was mad at Kate because she was like, if I heal you, gonna go right back to mind control. And immediately like, well, hey Kate, if I heal you, would you go ahead and mind control them so they could leave? And I'm like, so you becoming the person you hate so bad that you want her to use her power against your friends and your boyfriend / girlfriend because you're trying to protect them, but you're not,
You want to protect them when you force them in the earth, or whatever, and draw any blood or whatever. So yeah, like I just man, she was getting on my nerves in this episode, bro. I'm like, yo, you ain't. It's like she not stopping and thinking for like 2 seconds, bro. And like you said, that might explain it, Big J, what you just said, man. The fact that she probably everybody telling her, oh man, you the most powerful. Well, Cypher is telling her she the most powerful. She's starting to kind of believe it or whatever. So
yeah,
man, I just like you said, bro. Last episode is gonna be interesting because I want to see how well, for one, we're gonna see that little fight off they're gonna have in that little danger room or whatever, and then I want to see how they're gonna take care of Godolkin, bro. Because does Godolkin have the power to stop old Homelander now? That's what I want to know. Because I know that's what he was trying to, and I think the reason why he was trying to build Marie up to do that because, like you said, Big J, he was weak and he couldn't do it. Now he got his power now and he's stronger now. Can he do it? He kind of one of them cases where it's like I don't really need her anymore. I can do it myself. And kind of go back on what you said, because when you talking about him letting them out that room, I think the reason why he let them out because, like we was talking about earlier, he was killing all the weak soups off. Remember, he killed old boy in that diaper, right? He made him kill himself. Why? Because his power was like he could change his feet to hands or whatever. Like, I don't need you, kill you. You know what I'm saying? But Jordan and Marie and who's in there?
Kate.
Kate and
somebody
else. Emma was in the room.
Emma.
Yeah, she was in there too. And so, like, seeing what they've been doing or whatever, I think he kind of looks at them like, okay, they pretty strong with it. Let me go ahead and lead him alone or whatever. Because he could have just killed him in that room or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But what was the first thing he did when he left that room? Bro, what's your power? Change my feet to hands. Okay.
You're done.
You're done. Get you up out of here real quick. But what you got, BA?
Well, I heard what Big J was saying, and I heard what all you guys said. I just think it's a little bit more to Kate than meets the eye. I think they dubbed down her powers 100%. Well, not 100%, but tremendously, as I said before, just to get her a better character arc, and it has to pay off at some time. Or else, what was the point of doing that to her the whole entire season, right? And I think it pays its dues next week. I don't necessarily know how, but I just think that the whole misdirect was thinking that everything was centered around Marie when it was really her. She was the one that was on the outside of almost everything that happened to Marie. She was the one that got her hand blown up from Marie. She was the one that, everything happens, and she was like the other person that was kind of right next to Marie this whole entire time. And who knows what happens. But she didn't get her powers for a reason. She didn't get her upgrade to her powers because clearly Marie can put you back to 100%. She basically healed polarity. He had no brain tears whatsoever. So she can do a lot, and she chose not to do it. So eventually she'll have that moment where she'll do it to Kate, and then Kate will see what happens and see if her powers got upgraded of any kind. Because to every Professor X, there's a Jean Grey. So if Godokin is your Professor X, then who's your Jean Grey? It's going to be Kate. She's the one that can probably do it a little bit, manifest her powers to a greater degree. So I mean, we'll see. But besides that, it was an excellent show. We already knew that. I think most of us knew that it was Godokin in some kind of way. And I figured through the transition between some of y'all that Big J was going to give shout outs to the fact that he to Doug himself. So shout out to Doug. Let's give it up for Doug. You know, he had a tremendous traumatic life and everything like that.
It really has.
You know, that sucks, man. That sucks, man. You know, but you know, he got some little action in the process. So, you know, it is what it is. It ain't all bad. But I guess the thing is just we just don't know the extent of everything. Maybe with the fact that he was, you know, once he got to his full form again, Godokin that is, it was like, I see these guys. I mean, I could take him out, but I don't think he wanted to. I think he wanted to let him go. I think he likes the challenge a little bit. I think he's a little bit envious of that, and that could lead to his demise at the same time too. So we'll see. We'll see what happens when he meets some of the big seven. You know, I guess we're going to get some of them to show up on this particular last episode. I think Black Noir is supposed to pop up. We'll see what happens with him. Although he's a regular dude. I don't even think he's
no.
He can fly. He can fly in all of it.
The black dude.
The new one. The old one couldn't fly. The new one can fly.
The new one can, okay, bet. So we got him. I know. I think I saw him. We see,
but they kept his powers. They kept that under wraps though, because they didn't want nobody to know that they flipped the characters with her. But yeah, go
okay,
ahead.
bet. And like I said, we'll see what happens. But this is like one of the better seasons when it comes to transition into a whole different show in a sense. So this is leading up to the last season of The Boys, and this is just as good as The Boys to me. This is better than some of the seasons of The Boys. So it's a rare thing that you get a spinoff that's just as good as the original show and can easily supplement it, but it can't supplement it because we can't go no more seasons of Gen V because it's based off of Godokin. And once they realize Godokin is the bad guy, like he's here now. So what you got to change the university. So we got to do some other things. So I don't know if this even has a season 3 or they just got to completely go in another direction. Like we said, maybe Mexico, maybe the pre-story or whatever. We have no idea where this is going to go afterwards, but they did a really good job of setting up almost in a sense brand new characters in a sense. And we just gonna see what happens with them. So I think they did a tremendous job, and this is just the last step to the finale, and we'll see what happens.
What you got, BJ?
I was gonna say, and feeding off what BA said, I did had this thought because I remember something happened in season 1 that a lot of people forget with Kate when you was talking about how Kate could be the secret. Do you remember that when everybody was in the room with Kate and she had come off the medicine that Indira Shetty was giving her, and she basically created a pocket world where she brought everybody into it, and everybody was like facing their demons and all that kind of situation. And see that she did not have to touch them. She just basically took over everybody's mind because her powers were coming like off of those meds she was on. So I do think there is another level to her powers. I also thought about what happens if when I do believe Marie's gonna heal it, but when Marie heals it, does she get her other arm back?
That's what I was gonna ask. That's what I was gonna ask. Yes, I agree. I was gonna say that too. But we never seen Marie get to that point yet where she's healing limbs.
Well, she did. Remember, she fixed the burns on old boy, which I was surprised because he was burned up.
I'm talking about as far like you add limbs on tissue though, or whatever. Like she had a whole arm like that. That'll be next level right there.
The other thing is, I also think you can't kill Marie because I know we wondered why he didn't just take her out if she was no longer necessary. Because remember, there's still that suit virus out there, and I think Marie's the only one that could possibly fight the virus. Once it's out there, she could could potentially heal and remove it from somebody's superpowers by fixing the blood, because she's able to regenerate blood cells and regenerate cells. So maybe she could be the only one that could stop that virus. So I don't think he can kill her.
And do you really want to fight after you just got your powers restored? After you just came back to, like, you ain't even see the sun yet. Like, I mean, like, like out there walking around. Like, you ain't even do that yet. And you was going to be in a fight when you going against those 4 to 5 that was left in there. Like, I'll let y'all. I can deal with y'all later. Even if I wanted to deal with y'all, I deal with y'all later. Let me go out there and see what this world is like. Let me go ahead and see, hit up Sage and see what she doing. Stuff like that.
Like I said, I think it's one of the cases where it's like I said, it ain't no coincidence that he killed the dude that changed his feet to hands or whatever, right? You weak.
Yeah.
I seen what these three that was in the room with me done this whole time or whatever. I'll let y'all make it. Y'all part of that plan that I've been kind of wanting to implement here as far as the strongest survive or whatever. Y'all showed me y'all strong enough, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave y'all alone. That's why I don't think he was just like he really could have just been like, you know what? Y'all in the room now. Let me shut this door with my mind. Go to choke forcing and all whatever, or force choking y'all or whatever. And so I think it's one of them cases, bro, where he saw what they can do. Is like, you know what, I'm gonna leave y'all alone and let y'all make it. But if you get in my way,
and I got like one more point I didn't make, and I apologize for it. The pre-call, her sister Annabeth. What is Annabelle?
Mm-hmm.
Her sister, right?
Annabeth, you had it right.
Annabeth. She I don't know the full extent of what she can do when it comes to the pre-calls, the premonitions or whatever she has, because she says that not all of them come true. So when she said that to me, I was like, okay, that means some of them happen, some of them don't. Like now you really don't know. But then I seen a picture. I mean, I seen the clear how they started off the show with the blood going over her sister, and I was like, I wonder if the ones that don't come true could be like a metaphor in a sense, whereas though. And then the reason why I say that is because when I looked at the premonition that she had with her sister, it's like you just healed the person that's going to kill a lot of people. To what you're saying, Ro, he's going to walk through that campus killing a lot of people. So technically, in a way, all that blood is on your hands. It's on you. So the blood that's coming down on her, it might not be the fact that she's dying or nothing like that. It's the fact that that blood is on you because you healed the person that's going to do all this, although everyone was telling you not to. So in a sense, like I don't know if her powers work like that in a sense, whereas though no, that physically didn't happen, or it still might happen, but as of right now, it physically didn't happen. But at the same time, metaphorically, it kind of did. It kind of did. You do have blood on you. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder is those the ones that didn't come true in a sense, whereas though physically she thinks, oh, that didn't happen, so it didn't happen. No, you're spot on. You're batting 1,000. Everything that you pre-called actually happens, but it might not be in a way that you think can physically happen. It might be a little different, and you just think, oh, it didn't happen. That was just something I picked up along the way.
Well, remember though, the vision changed throughout the episode because the closer she got to the room that it happened in, the vision changed, and it also, I think, the closer in time. But like I said, keying up what you're saying, it may not be. Remember, like I said in the trailer for next week, they showed they're going to be back in that room doing stuff. So it could be that happens next week, where she may go in while they having that bloodbath fight, and she may get splattered with blood in the middle of that fight.
I had to put that out there just in case, so I can get credit for it if it happens. If it don't,
oh
happen.
Yeah,
you
got it.
I
gonna
can always be wrong.
I told y'all.
It's better if you're right.
Red gonna clip that, and you're gonna put that. That's gonna be a short.
Clip
that time you was wrong. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get to this main topic right here, man. So check this out. Old Jared Leto, man. Tron's franchise look like it's gonna be retiring from the big screen. So I know y'all. Did any of y'all see Tron yet? No. Okay. Like I'm on one that saw it. Like I said, I like the movie. Jared Leto seemed to be blamed. I guess that's like the popular thing to do. I'll probably get my opinion on that here in a little bit. But like, do y'all blame Jared Leto for these movies and stuff flopping, or do you think it's this, how the cookie crumbles? I guess you could say. What you think, cuz?
No, a lot of times I don't put it on the actors. A lot of times I put it on because like the actor could get like, let's say 10% of it, but I think a lot of it would be director, writers would be the issue from the planning, the flow of the story, the conversations and stuff like that, to where because like what is it, between a combination of like Madam Web and Iron Fist is what like the actors end up getting blamed for, but it's a combination of no, it was bad writing, the direction changed on within it as well, and end up getting dry dialogue from it as well. So that's where, but because the actors are the ones that you see, and people don't end up liking it, so they end up getting most of the blame. But no, I don't put it on Jared. He's had a tough run of it lately when it comes to these nerd movies between Tron and the I can't think of it.
Suicide
What was it?
Squad.
No, the Suicide Squad, but the other one too.
Morbius.
Morbius, that's what it
Oh,
is.
wait.
And Morbius, yeah, that was the main one I was thinking of was Morbius. So yeah, he's had a tough run of it of late, but I think a lot of it is more of the writing and the direction that they been wanting to go with these movies is what's made it struggle more than the acting. I think he's done well and with what he's been given, but I only give him a small portion of the blame just overall. But most of it go to everyone else. What you got, Bitch?
Well, so the only thing with Jared Leto, here's a little different because I don't know if y'all know, but they had those allegations that came out right before the movie dropped. Well, a couple months before the movie dropped. So it's kind of like the Flash situation, where if the actor has a bunch of negative stuff going on, then does that taint the movie? You know what I mean? And so, because I think it's like Flash, he lost his mind right before the movie came out and was doing all that wild stuff.
Right before the movie.
And same thing with Leto. Like Leto stuff came out in June where he had a bunch of accusations against him. Like 9 women came out and made accusations.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they said, including
I ain't heard nothing about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, Google Jared Leto scandal. But yeah, they said some of the stuff was some of the women said they were underage when stuff went down, and so there's a lot around him right now where he's got a real negative tinge. And so, like I said, but they already made the movie, and they're like, well, we spent $200 million to make this movie, so they put it out. But I think they may have should have pushed this down the road or something to get that little time to die down to breathe. But it is what it is, and so I think that affected the movie overall.
What you got, BA?
I don't think. Well, that could play it false. I'm not gonna say that's not the case, but so I think he's picking the wrong projects. Personally, I mean, we you brought up Mobius, like that movie was just trash. It had nothing to do with him. That movie was trash. Craven was trash. Anything that they touched other than Venom was trash. So and Suicide Squad, like. He was just a character amongst other people. Like it was probably not the best rendition of Joker, but it was one that was like, okay, somebody gotta play the psyched out guy, the druggy type Joker, and he chose to do so. It was like, and he did it decently. So it's like, all right, so bro, let me ask you this: did he seem like a redeemable character in this particular movie? Because that's the role that he was playing.
Yeah,
he started off as a weapon, then started to realize that things was changing. Did he?
He started
in that way.
He was like a program that was learning a lot. You know how we see those like Terminator movies and all that stuff when the robots start learning stuff. They start realizing they can do more and all that. That's kind of what it was. Like I said, he was good in the movie in my opinion, man. I didn't see any issue with what he did. But yeah, go ahead.
And that's all I needed. And like you said, so you mentioned the Terminator, and I seen a lot of things where they was comparing it to, like, his character was similar to the Terminator, and I was like, well, the Terminator had one movie where he was the bad guy, and the next movie he was like, okay, I can see the scare factor, but then he's starting to change and understand the human reactions and things like that. So that's like 2 movies of him having him being redeemable. Then the thumbs up as he sacrificed himself. Like, you wasn't going to get all that from this one particular movie. I believe that the movie seemed to be incomplete based off of what I heard. Why do I say that? It's because when I talked to and when I was listening to certain things and listen to the directors and things like that, I felt like they was trying to set up a whole nother saga here. Yeah. Well, a lot of times when you just confirmed that. A lot of times when you do that, you don't fish out a whole story. You leave plot holes in a particular project because you're going to fill it in later. Well, suppose you don't have the time to fill in later. Suppose they just say, it didn't do enough. So now you literally have an incomplete movie. And I think that this movie particularly suffered from it. And when I realized that they didn't have old boy, what's his name? Garrett or whatever, the person from Legacy, Tron Legacy.
Yeah, who's the son of
the son? Sam.
Yeah. Sam. Yeah.
that's when I was like, yo, I'm not watching that. It's like had I known we was gonna do a review on it, I would have went out and watched it. But at the same time, or at least talked about it. But for the same time, the fact that like you had a movie called Tron Legacy, so you talked about the importance of family legacy within it. It's literally the title of it. And then the third one, you don't have him in it, no kind of way. You couldn't work out a deal with the actor. You couldn't make something happen. Whereas though I see Sam because I see him on Tulsa King. He's clearly still acting. He's still making movies and things like that. So where's his appearance? Where's anything that they left off in Legacy? They didn't bring anything towards it other than the homeboy grandson, right? Like, and then he's supposed to get the powers at the end of it or whatever like that, and hence the next saga continues. That's no one wants to see that. They want to see the hero. They want to see the person that they kind of spent 2 hours understanding and vibing off of. They wanted to see him in the third one, and he wasn't there. Jeff Bridges made an appearance, but he pretty much is just the AI version of himself. So he's not really a part of the movie like that. So that leaves a lot to be desired. So after watching Tron Legacy, and then hearing about Ares, I was like, nah, they definitely gonna drop the ball on this one, and clearly they did. So there you go.
Yeah, I guess now my opinion is changed now from what you said, Big J. I didn't know nothing about the accusations he had. And that's similar to what happened with the Flash. A lot of people have seen them accusations, and that hurt the movie tremendously. Then on top of that, Jared Leto got a reputation outside of that, so that was like double the issues. But no, yeah. So to kind of piggyback what you were saying, though, BA, they did mention his son in there multiple times in the movie, and they were setting up for them to have like a crossover movie for the fourth movie. He was going to be in that movie. At the end of that movie, sorry, spoiler alert. I'm probably not gonna watch it, but he was Jared Leto's character went off and was planning to meet up with him and Olivia Wilde's character at the end of that movie. Yeah. So when you said they left it open ended, they really did. They left it to where they were gonna set up probably 2 more other movies. I think that was what their plan was, to kind of like a soft reboot to a certain extent with the whole Tron franchise, because Tron wasn't even in this movie. It was called Tron Ares, you know what I'm saying? Because Ares was like the kind of like that Tron character this time in the movie. So yeah, like you said, Jeff Bridges was there, but it wasn't him. It was like an AI version of him. There in the old grid, because he was still back at the old video game place where he had the little video game or arcade, I should say. But yeah, like I said, man, the movie was pretty was straight, man. Like, only thing like I said in my review was this: the story was a little choppy, but other than that, man, like I said, the action, the visuals, the music, everything was good, man. It was good. It definitely kept you engaged. It wasn't one of those cases where it's like, damn, the show, I mean, the story is so choppy and it drags. It's like you looking at your watch the whole time, like, damn, what time is it? It's time to go. It was one of those cases where, okay, like the action and all that stuff, it kind of kept you engaged. Jared Leto was actually good in this movie, which that kind of sucks, you know what I'm saying, because of what the movie's doing right now and his reputation and everything. People ain't gonna give it a chance because it is Jared Leto, but he actually did pretty good in the movie. If you kind of everybody who's been like reviewing the movie, don't say it's him. He's not the problem. He don't, it's just it's a story. It does not. It just you don't get to the people don't get really a lot to work with in this movie. A lot of them are like one note. They try to hit you with emotion, but it's not connecting. Like the main girl whose sister died or whatever, and she's trying to take her place and looking for this certain code that's gonna allow these people to come over to our world and last longer than 24 minutes and all that stuff. You didn't really feel that. Like, you're telling us how she feels and all that stuff. That's cool, but we don't really feel that, right? The fact that they're trying to, I guess they were also trying to kind of this kind of bringing that nostalgia type of thing too, but because like you said, his grandson Dillinger, the first villain in the first Tron, grandson. Then if you saw the end of the movie, you could tell that they were setting that up for him to be another Dillinger. Even with the way Dillinger's little, I guess, avatar in the grid was, he even had that on. You know what I'm saying, like the little hat and all that stuff, the little suit or whatever. He had all that on, and so like I said, what's the boy name? They played Quicksilver in the
Evan
X-Men
Peters.
universe. Thank you, Evan Peters. like Evan Peters is a good actor, right? Even he was kind of one note, and it's like you already saw how this is going to turn for those characters or whatever in the movie. They had him in there. Uh, what's the lady's name from? I'm blanking on everybody's name. What's the lady's name from X-Files?
Gillian Anderson.
Gillian Anderson.
Yeah, she was in there too. She's a great actress. One note, right? Like it was just a lot of one note acting. But other than that, like I said, the movie was pretty good, man. I didn't hate the movie at all. It was pretty good. Like I said, the action and the visuals and all that stuff, the music. Even with Nine Inch Nails doing the music, you felt like they were trying. That's why I said I feel like it was like a small reboot because the music was trying to give you back that feel of the '80s Tron movie. That's what it felt like. And so, like I said, when you bring in Dillinger back, you got a Tron type of hero in this movie, which was gonna be Jared Leto and all that stuff. And then you're gonna kind of like work your way as to Sam being his dad in like the next movie or whatever, right? So it seemed like they were trying to reboot it without rebooting it within the franchise, but also keeping some of the same nostalgia that people who are big fans of Tron can latch on to.
But here's the question: how you gonna do a Tron movie without Tron? That's like doing a Venom movie without Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work. And you didn't have Tron. You didn't have the last dude that we kind of attached to, like you said, in the Legacy movie, which was the son Sam. Or you didn't have Cora. So so it's like in the we're gonna do a side movie and then bring them back in later, and because they asked the boy, and he was like he wanted to be in it. He wanted to be in it.
I ain't gonna lie. When they asked him, I thought he was like being coy. Like I thought he was really gonna be in it at some point. But like I said, they mentioned him a bunch of times in the movie, which means like he is still like sometimes where it's like, okay, this movie didn't succeed, we're gonna kind of like sweep it under the rug, act like it didn't happen. It's kind of like they did in the last Indiana Jones movie, right? They just killed his son off and said like, oh, he went to war and died in the war or whatever. So we're just gonna act like that didn't happen. We're gonna go on with this story. That's what I kind of thought they were gonna do, or they were doing in the movie, but they ended up. Like I said, they mentioned him a bunch of times. Like I said, if you watch the end of the movie, the plan was for Jared Leto's character to go meet up with them, and I guess they were going to do something else or whatever, and find out that Dillinger was still alive and all that type of stuff. So, or Dillinger's grandson was still alive or whatever. So, but yeah,
that's a huge risk though, right? For the situation, where as though the first Tron didn't do well out the gate. Right, it was so many other things that was better than Tron out the gate. But then it kind of garnered a cult following in a sense, and then people started to vibe off of it and stuff, right? Legacy, they had so many mixed steps with Legacy. The post production took damn near a year and a half to finish and things. So, and they ended up spending like way more over budget than what they were supposed to do. So they ended up like that was like a $360-something million movie. And
it was damn near 400.
Right, so and it wasn't going to get 800 back in the box office, right? So like you're trying with a project that hasn't shown you that it's a $1 billion film. Like I can see Marvel trying a version of this. We got success in other places where we can give it a shot. I can see Avatar trying, but when you don't have a $1 billion film, you can't take certain risk and thinking that everyone's going to be there. Oh, it's going to be enough people watching. Don't worry about it. Then we're going to boom break. No, you have to knock the first one out the park in a sense, and then go ahead on and maybe readjust, rescript, rewrite, whatever the case you got to do for the next two that you had. No, you got to make that first one hit, and they didn't. So,
what's that saying?
So it's going to be on the small screen, right?
Yeah, probably is. What's that saying? You only get one shot to make a first impression.
I was gonna say though, the thing is, so they're saying they're gonna take it away from the big screen, but as expensive as Tron seems to be from a special effects standpoint, I don't think that's something that would translate to like a Disney Plus or to make a TV show, because I think it's gonna be too expensive. Like we said a few months ago, or a couple months ago, where I think they're looking at cheaper movies that can be profitable more so than everything has to be a $1 billion blockbuster. Like because they even I don't know if y'all heard, but they were talking about the new Fast and Furious movie. They said that they wanted a budget of $250 million, and the studio came back and said 50. And so they're like, oh, because they were like, yeah, y'all ain't gonna make a $2 billion or $1 billion. So they're like, you need to bring that down. And so they were like, oh, well, we was because now they thinking, oh, we got to go to space every time, and we can't just make a racing movie. We got to be superheroes. And so, like I said, then budgets get out of control, and the studio's like, yeah, no, if y'all ain't making enough money to make it profitable. we're not gonna fund this, your fever dreams anymore. So it's like all that stuff getting cut back.
Well, yeah. All right, fellas. You already know we're about to get into next. These quick hits. So check this out. Brad Winderbaum was asked when we might see a Jessica Jones series. He says, quote, maybe sooner than you think. What you think about this, Big J? You want a Jessica Jones series? Shut up and leave her alone? What's up, man?
Well, once again, I would love to, but I do get confused with Marvel's words, because remember we were told, I was told to somebody like I was told that we were gonna get one live action show per year
Every 5 years.
but now
Exactly.
they like next year we're releasing 3, and then they keep planning all these shows. I'm like, unless they gonna have these people playing this until they 80, I don't know how you're gonna stack these once a year shows out. So I think they need to stop all these bold predictions and just make good content, like I've been saying. If people want to see the show, if a character's popular, make the show. She's already been established. I don't know if she needs a standalone show necessarily. She could just be one of those people that's just in the world of all these other characters, like between Daredevil, even the Luke Cage. They've been quiet about him if he's coming back. Because they said he was at the Comic-Con hanging out with people, but they didn't announce anything. So I'm like, I think you just need to integrate these characters into the world. Everybody, but Finn Jones, Danny Rand, everybody else could be back in, and I think we'll be okay.
Watch him out, BJ. Watch him out.
I know.
What you got,
Yeah,
man?
I'm sorry, BA.
What you got, cuz?
I still stand on the fact that they need to, that's what all my predictions have been going off of, is off of what they've been saying. The minimum amount of live action shows. So would this be, so if this is a show, would this be a special? Kind of like what Punisher is getting, or will it be a full production show, showrunner and everything, 8 to 10 episodes? Because it's going to be great that she's back, but I agree with Big J that if just for what they were talking about, she just it would be okay for her to be part of somebody else's show, so like part of Daredevil. That's where my whole prediction has been, is that she'll just play within Daredevil. She can have a few episodes within it, doing her work, but for her to have a standalone, I think it would be closer to it being like a special more than a full production show. So, but yeah, it's weird that they keep jumping back and forth between, we only have one. Now we're going to have Daredevil, we're going to have Punisher, we're going to have Jessica Jones. Just if there's a chance that you're going to end up changing this information, then as far as like the number of shows and stuff, then don't give us the information. Just say that as these, basically use what Big J was saying. As we're going to create these shows, we're going to be pushing for good content. So we don't have an official number of shows that we're going to be putting out, or official number of animated shows. Movies, yeah, because it costs a lot more money. But shows and animations, we don't have a set number. We will put them out as expected and as they're planned. But we don't have, and it could be one this year, one next year, 3 2 years from now, 4 the year after that, back down to 1 right after that. So they should just say our plan is to just put out great shows and content as the MCU continues, or something to that effect, instead of just putting a full number on it. It's just annoying that they keep going back and forth. What you got, BA?
They just lied, bro, and we just have to be comfortable with the fact that they lying. I mean, I bring this around every so often that some of these guys just gonna lie to you. They just lied, and it's okay, because so what? What are you gonna do? Like, so I lower your expectation, and then I give you product.
You lie, so I'm not gonna watch that 4th show coming out.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, if I say 1 and you got 2 coming out, you're not gonna watch it? Oh, because they lied to us. No, my expectation has been lowered to the point where I'm not expecting anything, and then once I get it, I had no other choice but to increase that height of joy that I'm going to get from it. Right? Like, oh, cool, they got something. Oh, because they only said they was going to have one. They got 3 this year. That's crazy, So with that being said, they lied to us, and it's okay. Some lies are okay, guys, and this is one of those lies. And I'm quite sure Russ going to get into the fact that Brad is just doing his own little world right now. And this is just a part of it. Like, it's, like things are developing, and with certain people leading the way, like, oh, I did say one, but if you got a good idea, all right, let's run with it. Let's knock it down. And then once it doesn't work, we gave you a shot. We're gonna drop this thing pause back down to 1. And they're just going to keep it like that. So I just think they're being coy with us. I think they are saying one thing, and of course they mean something else. But this is big business we're talking about here. Who are we to hold them to their word? We ain't nobody.
Right. No, yeah, you're right, Big J. It could be a cheap show. Like, I mean, I don't think it's gonna be you ain't adding no Avenger level effects in this show. So it would be a pretty cheap show. Especially compared to Daredevil, you know what I'm saying? I think it'll probably be a little bit more cheaper. Because all she got on is like a jacket and some jeans. You got to actually make suits for Charlie Cox's character. So, yeah, like you said, I think they're getting to the point now. I think Brad Winderbaum is putting together a plan of his own over there. I don't know if any of y'all actually watched the interview he had with Brian. Was it Brandon on what's Brandon's last name? I can't blank it. He was from Comic Book Movie. He had matter of fact a live sit down interview with Brad Winderbaum and some of the people who created some of the shows and stuff like that, will run the shows and stuff for the Marvel stuff on Disney Plus. And like Brad Winderbaum sound like a guy who kind of has things in a row. You know what I'm saying? Got his ducks in a row, like a guy who has great ideas on what he plans on doing here in the future. So I'm to the point now. I'm about to start coining the phrase in Brad and in Winderbaum we trust. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, the guy, man, he seemed to have a plan. Like you said, I don't think he's gonna greenlight everything. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna kind of pick and choose the right projects. He's gonna put in place the right people for some of these projects, because we don't want to have another Moon Knight. We don't want to have another She-Hulk situation. You know what I'm saying? Where it seems kind of choppy or whatever. Because like right now, Daredevil was pretty good. Zombies was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So he's trying to kind of get these projects back under order now. We don't have Bob Chapek anymore. So now they kind of being able to implement their vision here. So I trust the guy, whatever he decides to do. As far as Jessica Jones, I'm not mad at Jessica Jones series. I like the Jessica Jones series. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of the fans would like to see them continue with these characters like the Jessica Jones. I don't care what you and BA say, man. I would like to see Finn Jones back in there. I don't think he should get his own show or nothing, but if he can kind of be in the show with Daredevil or something, play off of somebody else, I'm fine with that, bro. Like I've been hearing me say this for the longest. They need to do a Heroes for Hire show. Somebody need to go get in touch with Brad Winderbaum and say, hey, man, if you could do a Heroes for Hire show, shut up and take my wallet. All right. But other than that, like, he should get his own show. Nah, I'm good with that. Let him play off with somebody, bro. Like I said, we saw the chemistry between him and Michael Coulter when they had those different scenes and stuff in the Defender show. Let them play off of that, man. And, let them get a show built off of that. You know what I'm saying? That way don't have to, that way you can knock out 2 characters in one right there. You got to have individual shows and later on link them up. Hey, you already linked up right here. Bam. We got those 2 characters knocked out. You know what I'm saying? That saves you money on having to do 2 separate shows. Just do one show. What do you say, BJ? I know you're going to say something. Go ahead.
No, like I said, I agree. I think Jessica Jones is one of those shows, like I said, it doesn't have a $100 million budget. It's not, this is going to be super expensive to produce and got effects. Only thing is she's supposed to be strong. So occasionally she'll throw somebody in there. So you might need to pay for some wire work. But it's not like, oh, no, we got to have all these, all this CG and all this other stuff going on. And it's fairly ground level. So like I said, it could be a real cheap production. So, I mean, that's something you can make profitable by throwing up content, like 8 episodes of a show with her. And you could make references and stuff, which I know we hate, like they did with like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that. But you need to integrate her more into real MCU. To me, like have her show up in like some of these other events, not just the side stuff that she's never integrated, because then that feels like it's an unimportant throwaway character. You need to make the world complete and have more interactions.
So, yes, no, you're right with the interactions and all that stuff. They were kind of doing that in Daredevil. I think what they would do with this show is kind of like what they also did with Daredevil. A lot of the stuff that they couldn't afford to do on Netflix, they were able to do on Disney Plus. Like they was able to use more CGI or whatever, or more effects for his, like, because in the comics, Daredevil was very flexible. He can flip and all that stuff in the air and all that, doing all the acrobatic stuff, which is why he's called Daredevil. He's able to do that stuff while being blind. So they're able to do a lot of good stuff for this show. Where I kind of piggyback what you just said, Big J. I think now they will be able to have the effects to show her be able to actually lift the car. Instead of showing her like you hear the car off of the off screen getting smashed up, and then you turn around and you see her standing over the car smashed. Like you don't have to see that no more. You have to see her smashing the car or picking the car up over her head or whatever, or stopping the car or whatever. You actually see that type of stuff now. I don't know if they're gonna eventually let her fly like in the comics, or they'll probably just have her like leap great distances or whatever. Like they could probably do that in the show now with the with the budget and all that stuff. So I'd rather her do the leaping. I don't want her to fly, because then we'll supposed to start thinking she rogue out here or whatever from the X-Men cartoon. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, look, they could do it. Even with all that I'm saying though, it's not gonna be costing $200 million to make the show, whatever, right? So because you think about it, a lot of Jessica Jones's stories is story. It's story driven. So all the other stuff is kind of added bonus when she's lifting cars or whatever, like you were talking about. So yeah, I mean, it's fine, bro. I'm cool with it, man. Like I said, you get her a show, get Danny and Luke Cage a show together, and then bam, there you go. There's your main four from the Netflix shows right there. Y'all see I mean, it is cheap.
Yeah.
It is. So that definitely saved them money. So check this out. James Gunn debunks the fan theory that Langston Fleury is Martian Manhunter. Thank you, James Gunn. What you think about this one, cuz?
I never even got that vibe that he was going to be Martian Manhunter. To me, my Martian Manhunter would have been more serious and more stoic, And this guy had the bird blindness, cracking jokes, and everything else. So I don't know where folks got the idea that he would be Martian Manhunter. Yeah, I'm absolutely glad as well that James was like, nah. We're shutting it down now before that gets out of control. It's like we haven't even we haven't even gotten our Batman. Why would we have our Martian Manhunter, type of situation? But yeah, I'm glad he shut that down. I'm glad he shut that down. What you got, Jay?
Well, you know why they say that? Because he's black. And Martian Manhunter is often portrayed as black, and because he was a black guy, like, oh, that must be this guy. But yeah, no, with the nicknames he was giving out.
Yeah, they said it was a lot of like his him kind of being. They said that for him being kind of like oblivious to a lot of stuff. That's why a lot of people was connecting him to like Martian Manhunter and stuff.
I just think it was Tim Meadows being Tim Meadows funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
Because all the other stuff is just, he just seemed like a funny dude. Which I want to see more of him in the DCU. He's another one of them characters like that I could see more of popping up and stuff, just because it's Tim Meadows and everything. He like from the Ladies Man to all that stuff. He's always been funny. Like I said, Grown Ups. So I just want to see him on screen doing whatever, and it's cool. He don't have to be Martian Manhunter. He's not John Jones. Just let him be Langston Fleury, with checkmate.
Funny with bird blindness.
Yep. It's a duck.
What you got, BA?
You muted.
Right, and what I was saying was, a lot of people making fun of the situation, that fact that, bird blindness. I mean, do you know anyone else that has bird blindness? It's a very serious condition. I mean, do you think they just made that up? No, they did not. So I mean, somebody had to do it, and if no one else in the world that we live in has bird blindness, then it must be a Martian or somewhere like that. So I think that's where a lot of people got this idea. Clearly, people from Mars and other places have particular things that we don't know, and bird blindness is definitely one of them. With that being said, as foolish as that was, and as foolish as the fact that what Big J was saying, and he's 100% correct. It's a black guy, so he must be him, right? So yeah, we're not going to go too far with this. I'm glad James Gunn shot all that stuff down. It makes no sense. You're just trying to get something out of nothing, and no, and I don't want Tim to be Martian Manhunter. I would prefer someone else to kind of fit that role. And a lot of people don't even want to do that because then you got to do like the costume side, and people don't want to do the costume side. I don't want to see Tim Meadows spend 3 hours in all these other stuff trying to develop into this muscle suit to be this particular person. Nah, we good where we at. He's a great original character, and just keep him at that. And we ain't gotta go too far with it. I'm glad James Gunn did this one.
Yeah, I agree with y'all, man. I don't want a jokey Martian Manhunter. Like you said, I like Tim Meadows. I like the character he played there. I don't want him to be Martian Manhunter, bro, because I want to be laughing at Martian Manhunter the whole show, man. I want to take him serious, man. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. Now that it's funny you say that, right? And I'm thinking now, the two black men that we possibly could get in this universe are very stoic and very quiet and all these other things. So maybe, I'm not saying this is the case for this particular guy, but shouldn't one of them be kind of funny a little bit? One of them crack some jokes. Jon Stewart ain't gonna be making no jokes. And then you got Martian Manhunter. Once he comes, they're very stoic dudes. So one of them should be somewhat funny, right? Like somebody got to be some type of comic relief. No, I'm just throwing just throwing out there.
BA, first of all, Jon Stewart, he know a few knock jokes, bro. No, you're not gonna do that to Jon Stewart, bro. All right, he knows some knock jokes. All right. Now, I mean, we'll have to see how they portray him there in Lanterns. I kind of agree with you though, BA. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of joking in that show, especially being an HBO show and the showrunners behind it. I can't picture a lot of joking. Maybe Martian Manhunter can. I mean, he jokes or whatever. He kind of like that. Kind of had like dry, witty type of humor or whatever. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see. We don't even get a Martian Manhunter in this universe. I mean, that's the question too.
James Gunn said he's not him. So that didn't say that he's not. He won't show up.
Gonna get him or whatever.
So he could have clearly said, "Yo, we're not doing Martian Man no time soon." Yeah, he didn't say that.
What would you say, BJ?
No, I was just I was thinking about like, Mr. Terrific is kind of similar, like you were saying. I was gonna say Mr. Terrific was funny, but I think he's unintentionally funny. Like he's very dry humor, but he's a funny character. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we can't have all the brothers be just dry.
Hawkman. They need to have Hawkman in there too. Aldous Hodge.
The one, he was bored. He was not,
I mean, he had a funny moment, but he wasn't like trying to be funny though.
Nah,
it might be one of them cases for like Martian Manhunter where it's like he's got some funny moment, but he's not trying to be funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. We'll have to see, bro. We'll have to see how they go.
Everybody see.
Speaking of lanterns, it's funny y'all brought that up. So lanterns will be really important for the setup of things in the DCU. Where we heard that before? Jesus. Literally every project so far in the DCU is so important. It's gonna be a setup. But what you think on this one, BA?
What you just said. That is
right.
That is usually my take on certain things. We get it. It's supposed to be. Clearly, what we're going to go through in this movie is going to have some type of tie into everything else that we're dealing with, right? So that means it's going to be related to Peacemaker some kind of way. We're probably going to get some off-world kind of a situation going on. Like it's that's what you set things up for. That's why you have things come out in certain order. That's why you chose to take Superman out in the movie theaters early so Peacemaker can there's no spoilers from Peacemaker or whatever the case. So this is just another one of those lines. They might talk about the salvation is it salvation or saint whatever the thing that Salvation, but
sorry, no, sorry, Sanctuary.
Sanctuary. Thank you.
Yeah.
They might be talking about Sanctuary. They might bring that up. It might be some type of result of that. Maybe. Maybe they're there. I don't know. Who knows? But at the end of the day, clearly they're going to have some type of tie into things that's setting up for DC. What any matter of fact, let me just say this real quick to summarize everything. Anything that they do, if it's a part of the DCU, is important to set up other things in the DCU. Like whatever they do, it's like it's a show that's coming out a part of the DCU that's going to be serious. So let's just go along for the ride. Let's have some type of detective journey. Let's see. Let's count some dots. Let's point together. Let's put together some stuff. But at the end of the day, of course, it's going to have some type of lead in, some type of tie into the regular DCU, and then they can just use that as a reference. Hell, if we get Jon Stewart in anything else, well, I guess this is really important, then, right? So there you go.
What you got, BJ?
My thing was, I do get concerned with James Gunn because he claims he learned all the lessons from
Salvation.
from Marvel, right? And like, oh, you don't want to bog people down and have too much and all that. And he wanted the shows to not be important to the movies, but you've introduced Salvation. Now you're saying that the Lantern show is integral. And once again, because so you're gonna have the last thing people see is Superman, going off and doing this thing, happy laying on the thing, recharging the sunlight, watching his Earth parents. But if you miss Peacemaker season 2 and you miss Green Lanterns, both are integral and introducing whole new concepts that we haven't seen before, then how is it going to be like, oh, well, I'll just pop into the movie and then all the stuff that's supposed to be important, this 16 hours of information I don't need to see is just peripheral, and I'm happy and I can be able to see this and everything just keeps going, and I don't need that continuity. To me, that seems like you're talking out of both sides of your neck, basically saying that, hey, this is extremely important to the DC universe, but don't worry about it. You ain't got to watch none of this stuff because it don't tie nothing to the movie. Like, that don't make sense. Because all of a sudden, next time we see Superman, if we are going to have the Planet Salvation be part of this and they got to team up and, Lex and Superman are teaming up because they're trying to escape or something like that, then how does any of this make sense? You know what I mean? Like, he needs to figure out what he's doing and pick a lane and stick to it. It's just like we talk about the one show a year thing. If it's either it's important or it's not important, the shows, I'm like, you got to pick one. It can't be both. It can't be the most important thing you've ever seen. You can't miss it. And don't worry about it. You don't need to watch this to watch the movies.
I said that before.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Salvation. I apologize. So what's Sanctuary? I'm blanking. What is Sanctuary?
Something else. I know because I can't remember. I saw the Salvation run from but I don't know.
I don't know. I can't have a Sanctuary, but yeah, Salvation. I apologize. But what you got, cuz?
Yeah, there's really not much to really add. We already knew that this was going to be a very important setup for it. Having multiple lanterns around, we knew that this would be, especially just the information that they've been giving us when it comes to Salvation, and it's a essentially like a buddy cop show. We knew it was going to be a major setup. It just, like, from all the details that they've been giving us, it just makes sense. You're introducing the Green Lantern into the DCU as well. So yes, this is going to set up. It's going to be really important to set up. But yeah, I think this is also in line with what BA was saying about Marvel as well, was that they just lied to us. You have all this, you keep saying, like, you don't have to watch this, you don't have to watch this. When it comes, just basically, you don't have to do a bunch of homework for the stuff. But you're showing that you do have to do the homework, or you do have to watch these shows to be able to understand the DCU when it comes to the larger infrastructure of DCU. So yeah, this is just part of that. You ain't got to give us all the information. We don't want all the information because we also want to be surprised as well, and to have these type of shows where we can discuss and try to guess what the storylines that they'll be going with. But just a lot of times, just keep things vague to where you won't have to go back and change information. You can say that our shows, we're going to try to minimize the you having to for it to feel like homework or you have to watch these shows. We're going to try to minimize that need. But if you do watch these shows, it will make it much easier to understand the DCU. Some, something to that effect. Instead of, you got to watch these shows instead of to understand the DCU. When
But
it's going to be,
this show gonna be everything. Like
Exactly. Like it's like BJ was saying, like you're talking out of both sides. So just keep it vague. Hey, we don't want it to feel like homework. We don't want it to you to have to watch the shows. But if you were to watch the shows, you would get a lot of information. You will enjoy it, and then you'll see where we're going with the DCU. So that's why it's just annoying that they keep talking out of both sides and just lying to us. It's more annoyance than anything else.
facts. Listen. A couple things. So I forgot what the picture looked like. I knew that they was walking like in the middle of nowhere type thing. So when we heard about salvation, I thought that maybe they were on salvation. But now look at this picture. I see, telephone poles and all that stuff in the background. So that's not the case. Second thing, like I was just saying, instead of you saying like, oh, this is gonna be important for the setup, and this is gonna be important for the setup. So I tell them what's not gonna be important for the setup. That's simple. Hey, this 8th project down the line, it ain't important to the setup. It's just some random movie we just decide to make or some random show we decide to make. It don't tie to nothing. But instead, you telling us all these shows and movies like BA was saying, like I think that's kind of a given. I think we understand that. Like like you said, I think we already know that this is gonna set up for things in the DCU. You didn't really have to tell us that. Just from now on, tell us what's not gonna set nothing up. Right. So that'd be a whole lot easier. So that when we sit, like you said, sitting there guessing and all that, man, how that tie in? Is that salvation in the background? We're not doing that. Start telling them what don't tie in so that way we can get some sleep at night or whatever. So but yeah, no, I agree with y'all though, man. We already know it's gonna be a setup. We just waiting to see how it does set up. All right, see what we got next year, y'all. Check this out. Batman Cape Crusader Season 2 will have a very different version of the Joker, y'all. So supposedly this is gonna be a Joker that we ain't seen yet. What you think about this one, BJ?
I mean, like I said, I'm wondering if this is supposed to be because is this tied to the DCU or
no? This is
this is the own thing.
Yeah, it's its own thing on Amazon.
Oh,
yeah, the animated.
Have you seen it yet? You ain't seen it yet?
I haven't watched it yet.
What? Oh yeah, you gotta watch this. Yeah, it's it's top notch.
What is happening? BJ, what's going on? You good? Yeah, you gotta watch the show, man. Matter of fact, I thought about rewatching it again because get ready for Season 2.
Right? Exactly.
Maybe I'll take a peek at it. Like I said, I've been busy over here, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm working, tracking shipments of hot toys, all that kind of stuff.
What you got, cuz?
I'm looking forward to it. For them to have a different version, I could see them going with a different version, just because this is a heavily grounded show. As far as like what they've been running with it.
Other than a Gentleman Ghost episode, but go ahead.
Yeah. But I mean the what was it? The Clayface, like how they had Clayface. So that's where I got like the grounded side of it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so this one it's gonna seem like this was gonna be weird is try to have a different version because you have psychotic, you have the gangster, you have the anarchist. So we've had these different versions. So it is very curious of what version or what style of Joker that they'll end up going with. But I'm looking forward to it. So like I said, season 1 was really great. So it's going to be interesting of will this Joker be for the whole season or will it just be for
that's what I was wondering too. Yeah, that's what I was wondering too.
So I'm hoping it'll be a full season issue. That's what I'm hoping for. Just causing chaos and everything else. But I do hope that it'll be a full season. But yeah, a different version. I'm up for it. Every time they say they have a different version of something, I'm game. I'm game.
What you got, BA?
Maybe they probably go with like a woman version of the Joker this time around. So maybe that might be the case. It's going to be different, and they say very different. Like, how many different kinds of crazy, zany, insane, drugged out, clownish, like all those are vastly different, but we've seen multiple versions of them. So very different is okay. That was different. So I think to go along those lines, you're gonna have to feminize them, and have them be. I think a woman Joker is what it is, or and I mean somebody else just kind of thought through this out, and I'm gonna run with it. To be very progressive, to have a trans woman be Joker is next level. I mean, we are progressing this show to the next generation. So collectively we are doing this as a team.
Thanks a lot, BJ.
You feel me? So with that being said, we could go different ways here when it comes to the Joker, and I think all of them could go.
Literally.
So let's go with that. That's very different. We haven't seen that on TV before, and hey man, and each different communities have different kinds of people that might get whacked out their their mindset to the Joker degree. So that's just not like a regular person problem. That's an everybody person problem. So let's go with that factor. That's my take, Ralph. You're welcome.
You know what I think it's gonna be, and I think they gave us a clue in the first season when they showed that playing card, and what time period it's set up in. I think the Joker's going to be Jack the Ripper. I think he's going to be a serial killer that kills, and Batman's trying to put the clues together to find him, kind of like a Sherlock Holmes and a Moriarty. They're gonna try to put these clues together to try to find them. I think this is what they're going with. We haven't seen a Jack the Ripper type of Joker or whatever, right? A man who laughs in the shadows and kills people, just because, So that's why I think that's the role they're going, because like I said, with the time period and all that stuff, I think they're gonna try to go in that route or whatever. But yeah, I hope they don't do that, man. A lot of people was angry when they changed the Penguin. It was still a good character, but I mean, a lot of people was angry when they changed the Penguin's gender, bro. I was like, and you talk about changing one of the most iconic villains of all time, bro. You talk about changing his gender, like, you have a lot of folks angry. Oh, see, you trying to shut the internet down? What you trying to do? I see what you trying to do, man.
They make a black Joker.
Man, we don't need no internet today. If
they made Bruce Wayne like, oh my goodness, that would be.
Oh my god, yeah,
that would be crazy.
Bro, I saw what they did with what's the name? Lucius Fox's oldest son was a Batman, and the internet shut down.
Yeah.
That's a fact. And I can't have people saying whiteface like, oh, he thought if we can't blackface, y'all can't whiteface. I don't want that. I don't even want to deal with that.
It's gonna be so much, man. You already know. I'm gonna get ready for that. If they do that, BJ.
We just got to find a black emo kid to put out there, like with the Batman.
Last but not least, check this out. DCU Salvation storyline will involve Superman, Lex, and Rick Flag. So I guess they're gonna be the three keys to this next, I guess, Man of Tomorrow. So is a Salvation run going to be a storyline over X amount of shows and movies, or is it going to be tied to just this one? Well, I guess that's answering my question, because they said the Lanterns are supposed to be part of it too. But so it's supposed to be like what I'm saying? Like, is it going to be multiple movies and shows that's going to tell this Salvation story, or is it going to be like the overarching like story for this chapter? Like, how they haven't explained that part.
Well, I was going to say, so I don't think you can't do the real Salvation run right now. Anyway,
well, no. He already said that. Yeah.
So, and then the other part of that too is though, the actual series was
we don't even had a Joker yet, so they can't do the Salvation.
Yeah, I was gonna say the actual series was only like eight issues, so it wasn't like this huge long run in comics. So I don't know if it needs to be stretched out over 2 years and multiple projects. I think that could be kind of one of those, just like a partial story that maybe affects, like I said, Man of Tomorrow and I guess the Lanterns, but or maybe if they do like a check.
Because Supergirl don't have anything to do with it.
So
she's gonna be in space.
what if they do Checkmate season 1? Maybe that could be the main story of that. If they did a Checkmate season 1, where they show them, where Rick Flag is rounding up all the metahumans or something. But other than that,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was wondering that the other day when I saw this, because we already know Rick Flag gonna be in damn near everything. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So that's why I'm like, what is this? Like, are they doing this like because remember we have a mini Superman saga here with this. I guess the Supergirl is probably part of that saga. With the Superman movies, Man of Tomorrow, and I guess they're gonna do I guess a Superman 2. I guess I don't know what they're gonna do the fourth one, but then on top of that, you talking about having this story arc with the Salvation run, and it's like, so how is this gonna work? How long is this story arc going to span? Is it going to span through, like, 2 shows, 2 movies? Like, what we talking about here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because if you're talking about it's going to be Rick Flag who's going to be in damn near every movie, how is all this? Where does the story end? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what I was wondering. Especially too, if we already know how Salvation kind of links into DC Comics, it has a lot to do with Darkseid and all that stuff. Yeah, I already talked about the boom tubes and all that stuff. We're talking about them being able to transport through different universes and stuff like that. Those are so pretty much boom tubes. So it's like you got a lot of links here to the new gods and all that stuff. So I'm like, so is that going to like merge right into that storyline? Like, how all this going to play out? So we still really don't know yet. We just know that they're coming out with this movie, but how is it going to go moving forward or whatever? So, but what you got though, BA?
Um, first and foremost, the title threw me off for a second. And just like, yeah, I would assume those three people will be involved in some kind of way. But besides that, I think BJ kind of said it when you mentioned the project that's not been named yet. Checkmate season 1. This thing is going to last a little bit. I want to say overarching like so much, but you're going to get some of it in Man of Tomorrow. You probably want to get maybe 1 or 2 more series based off of it, and then it might just stay it might just stay around, but it's not a storyline. Like, we're not going to have focusing on it, but when we mention it, then you already know what we're talking about. That kind of a thing. It might not go
Mm-hmm.
away right this second, or within the next few movies, but it's not like it's a plot point anymore. It might be just, hey, that's where people go right now. In a sense, like whatever Rick Flag wants it to be, it might literally be that for a little bit, and then they come back to it. So it's not like they're gonna mention it and it's like, oh, it's a significant part of this particular movie. No, it might not even be part of this particular movie, but it might be a part of the next 2 movies. It might be a part of it. So we don't necessarily know how they're going to come back around and either continue with or kill it off, or whatever the case. So it's very hard to judge for now, but I do think it's going to be around, and I just think that it might be like some hits and some highs and some lows. It might not be mentioned at all. Then it might be doubled down, mentioned like heavily, and then go back to not mention all. I think they can play with it like that because it's crossover to TV and movies. They can go either way if they want to.
I think it's going to be a huge story for Man of Tomorrow. I think it's going to be a major story for Man of Tomorrow because it's not a coincidence. All of a sudden, they got the Lex Luthor's group or whatever. They're on Peacemaker, and they're dealing with the portals and all that stuff. So that's why I think it's going to be a integral part of Man Tomorrow. Like you said, BA, I don't know about anything else though. We still don't know. They told us it's going to be an integral part of Lanterns, and we still don't. From the rumors that we're hearing about what Lanterns is going to be about, I don't see how you kind of fit that in there. But we're going to pause. But we'll see though. What you got, Cuz?
No, it just makes sense that the three of them. This is, yeah, Rick Flag started using Lex people to do the portals. That's basically using his tech, his people going into Men of Tomorrow. It's going to be them more likely trying to push or get Superman in there, and then he's going to have to try to get out. So just overall, it makes sense that the three of them are going to have a heavy involvement in the Salvation, just because of how everything has been set up and moving from the end of Superman. What happened within Peacemaker, and just setting up. Yeah, it just makes sense that the three of them would have a big effect would have a big part within it. It's just natural progression when it comes to the storyline. So yeah, it's definitely understandable. Nothing too surprising.
Yeah, I agree, bro. All right, fellas. That's the last one we had, man. Let's go ahead and show some love to Playback.
Thank you to our friends over at Playback for this segment. Pause. If you're tired of the national media and the annoying ways they sometimes cover sports and other events, give the Glow Sun Production channel on Playback a try. We cover new and old school basketball, wrestling, and geek culture. And just recently, we've added boxing, mixed martial arts, anime, and even video gaming. So if you have time in your busy day, give our channel on Playback a look and check out some of our replays while you're at it. Another special shout out to our favorite at Playback. Back to the show.
Yes, sir. Listen, man, we definitely appreciate everybody, man, geeking out with your boys for another episode. Do us a favor if you're into the geek content, man, movies and television, hit that subscribe button. Join us here every Tuesday evening, Saturday morning. And also, too, man, everybody, please hit them likes for us today, man. Help us build that algorithm up. As we continue to try to build the channel, man, you could use your help with that. Well, other than that, man, it's your boy Real. Got my cousin Will, Big J, BA. We in the building, man. We will catch y'all guys here on Tuesday. Stay geeked. And we out.